Well, hello again there, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Kid bringing you this next game in this series from the Intel Extreme Masters Tournament. This is the finals between EGPuma, spawning down here in the bottom right of Entombed Valley, and SKMC up here in the top left as the red Protoss. So far, a great series. For those of you who haven't been watching all of the games, I really recommend going back, checking them out, and trying to apply some of the things that you see in these games. MC doing a lot with really aggressive play, doing some two-base pushes that were very good, and then MC also, Puma just going a long way to show how you can macro as a Terran and actually play quite defensively, and using the map to his advantage quite a bit. So as we're waiting for this game to get started, as we're getting into the beginning of this game, let's take a look at this map. This map is great, I think, for a Terran versus Protoss. I think this map tends to favor both of these races over Zerg, mainly because of how easy it is to take this natural expansion and then protect it just using this one ramp and even these rocks. When Terran and Protoss play this map, it's very easy for them to either, sometimes you'll see Terran wall off here. Protoss can very easily throw some gateways down in this corridor to produce choke points and things like that. And then also the map is wide open, so you can actually see some very good engagements here in the middle. But also it plays well towards sneaky play like drops, warp prisms, medvacs, things like that, because these corridors along the sides of the map are very, very easy to fly around and go right into the base. So a great map for this matchup. I love Entombed Valley. I love watching these players do this. And let's see what they go ahead and start off with. So far, we've got a complete wall, and this is going to keep this probe from being able to see anything inside Puma's base. He's not going for any gas at all right now, just getting up to his orbital command. We may see him drop an early command center. We've seen him do that before in this series. Actually, I think all three of the games in this series, he's done some sort of early command center. And then, most likely, he'll drop it right around here and put it right down here as soon as possible, as soon as he can get a couple Marines out to defend. Now, Puma, on the other hand, is probably going to get a pretty good scout off. He's going to go ahead and go right past this Zealot into the main base. Not going to see a whole lot. Very standard opener for a Protoss. He's got his gateway, cyber cores down, one gas. This isn't going to tell him very much, but at least it will reassure him that there's not necessarily any big cheese coming out. He's not necessarily going to see a really aggressive two-gate Zealot push or anything like that. And here we go. Puma going to go ahead, like he has in most games, throw down this command center. This works well for him because the Protoss is not going to be able to scout this. For all the Protoss knows, he's going up to barracks, he's going to get some Hellions, anything. There's nothing that the Protoss is going to be able to scout right now to give away too much. And instead, Puma going to go ahead and throw down two barracks with this. This will allow him to get out a lot of Marines. He's going to go ahead and throw down this bunker. Probably a little nervous that there might be some kind of aggressive gateway push. We do see Warp Gate being researched by the Protoss player, but we have this Nexus coming down, so no pushes will be coming out necessarily by either player for quite a while. At most, we would see MC maybe put on a little pressure with his Zealot. He has one Stalker, and he might poke around, try and do a little bit of damage, but he's not going to be able to do very much. Even leaving this probe here so he can see if this command center gets dropped down, if it gets brought down to the low ground. He might even throw down a pylon here so he can do a little bit of harassment once Warp Gate finishes. And here we go. Puma going to go ahead, start his orbital command, get that started. If he doesn't feel safe taking it down to the low ground yet, he can very easily just keep using it to build SCVs and macro up a little bit better. Now, I want to pay attention to this supply depot. This isn't just here because he wants to be away from his base and get out of the way so Marines don't get trapped behind it and things like that. This is to help him basically keep an eye on this little outcropping of land right here. It's actually not uncommon for Protoss to throw a pylon here. Then you can get an observer, put it on the high ground, and you can warp units right into the base. Or if you get blink stalkers, once again, you can have that observer right there, and you can blink right into the main base. So this is just Puma trying to make sure that he doesn't lose to any dirty play, any trickery by MC. And MC going up to 3 gates. He's going to go ahead and try his best to saturate these two nexus as quickly as possible, and getting some sentries out. I would imagine these will be mainly for defense right now because he doesn't have a whole lot of units on the field. If we go to the units tab, he has 1 zealot, 2 stalkers, and 4 sentries. So I would imagine these sentries won't push out anytime soon. Oh, and maybe I am completely wrong. Here we go. So I guess what we're going to see is we're going to see a little bit 3-gate pressure. We do have this pylon down. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Let me go ahead and turn off my, and say that I'm busy. And here we go. So we do have the pylon here, and even a second backup one here, just in case this one gets sniped. And what we could see happen right here is with all of these sentries, MC's going to come in and force field around these bunkers and then focus them down with these stalkers. I don't know how much damage he's going to be able to do. This is quite a few Marines. And here we go. Puma, seeing the strike coming in, is going to bring his SCVs out and make sure that they're ready to start repairing as soon as any kind of push comes out. So we go to the production tab. We've got MC is continuing to get probes, even bringing in 3 more sentries. This is a lot of gas that he is investing in this push. And I actually really like this right now. He's taking down these rocks. And here we go. Puma's going to go ahead and throw down a bunker here. He's bringing down his factory. This is mainly to make this wall off happen a little sooner. It should get there in time, but just barely. And look at this. Bringing this bunker down and even having these SCVs ready to repair as soon as they're needed. And here we go. We're going to see some kind of aggression right here. These Marines want to make sure that they don't get caught by any force fields or anything like that, because those zealots will just slice them to pieces. And right now the saving grace will be these medvacs. If Puma can get his Marines forward, snipe some units, and then use the medvacs to lift off and get away from the force fields, he could actually hold this, but it'll still be really, really tricky. And look at this. MC playing so cautiously, so smart. He's only using his range units. He doesn't want to overcommit with his zealots and lose those units before he's ready to. And look at this. Puma going to go ahead and focus down these sentries. That is a lot of gas that he is losing right now. And beautifully executed by Puma, taking out those sentries, even getting those zealots taken down. We look at the units lost. The Protoss MC is in a lot of trouble right now. Puma pushing out very aggressively, sniping out these stalkers, and he will finish off that entire army. MC looking to be in a lot of trouble right now. If we look at his units, he only has 4 stalkers. He has no cannons, no defense here to speak of. He's probably going to want to use the chrono boost from these nexus on these gateways so that he can get units out that much faster. And look at this, bring in all of these Marines, and this is looking pretty dangerous. Even dropping down this bunker right here, if nothing else, this will make MC focus some of his damage on this bunker, kiting the damage away from the Marines. And look at this. This is going to be really, really close, but it does look like MC will hold this push. And yeah, Puma needs to get these medvacs out of here as soon as possible. He does not want to lose these right now. He needs to be able to keep these to make his push work. And here we go. Now Puma's going to tech up a little bit. Oh, here comes a little bit of a push again. MC wants to try and take out some of those Marines. Maybe even snipe a couple of these medvacs if at all possible. Man, these Marines just not dying to these stalkers right now. And here we go. Puma needs to get out of there. He's going to lose. Oh, maybe that one. Oh, that one medvac goes down. A small victory for our Protoss player, but still, out of this, we've got 2 more command centers coming down for our Terran player. He is going to go to huge macro mode, even throwing down a ton more barracks. He's going to finish concussive shells right now. This is mainly to deal with blink stalkers. Going to slow him down, keep him from doing too much damage. And what I would imagine we're going to see is we'll see him take this base right here and this base right here. If you are a Terran, I don't understand why all of you don't take one of these bases immediately. It's very difficult to scout, and it's got these rocks guarding it right away. So really, it's something that Terran, I think, need to take more advantage of. So Puma going to go ahead and lift off this command center. He is a little bit behind in supply. He wants to make sure that he doesn't get too far back. But look at all these medvacs. 8 medvacs. His units are going to be very hard to kill off, especially since he's got these marauders. His upgrades are at 0-0, which is a little rough. and MC gonna go for another push here, but he is 0-0 as well. And if Puma wants to win this, he is definitely gonna need more Marauders in this lineup. He does have quite a few. He's got 6 in the making, but look at this, the offensive blink forward to try and snipe this out, and I would imagine this will probably be it. This Stalker Ball looking incredibly dangerous, and look, even trying his best to snipe out these medvacs. This is looking really, really bad for Puma, getting a little overly aggressive by trying to take 2 command centers at once. And here's the Blink Micro blinking back just as their shields get depleted. And I would imagine that we're going to see a GG any minute here by Puma. This is a lot of Stalkers, even bringing some Zealots into the mix to deal with these Marauders, and they have charge, making them that much more lethal. Puma continuing to try and stay in this game. MC just not having any of it, trying his best to take out these units. What he really needs to do if he wants to end this, though, is he needs to take out these medvacs. He needs to stop worrying so much about these SCVs and just get rid of these medvacs. This will basically completely cripple Puma if he's not already dead as it stands right now. And, you know, I gotta hand it to Puma, staying in. There's the GG right there between these two players. This was game number 4 between these guys. Puma winning 2 in a row and MC winning the first one. Just another great game. I do like that Puma tried to expand, but I think he needed a little bit more intel before he did that. He may have also overcommitted when he pushed up this ramp right here. He did a little bit of damage, but he really didn't kill any probes while he was doing that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this replay. Keep, subscribe to my channel. Keep giving me feedback. I appreciate all of the feedback that you've given me so far, and I will get working on that next game as soon as possible.